What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I wanted to hit you guys with another lesson here if I can get my hair out of my eyes. And this is all about unusual pentatonic shapes. Now, if you want tabs for this lesson, you can totally snag those down below. That's linked. You can check out my free guitar course if you want to. All that stuff is linked down below. And we're going to talk about just these ideas that don't sound like your usual pentatonics. Like if I heard these, my initial instinct would be like, totally a pentatonic scale, bro. I'd just be like, what is he doing there? I just think they have a little bit more of a little bit more flavor than your standard pentatonic lick, and it just, to me, kind of goes to show how versatile the pentatonic scale is. So we're going to go ahead and jump on into these. Like I said, I'm going to play the licks, and I'll break them all down, and just don't forget to get the tabs. So let's go! Alright, so let's get to breaking these down. Like I said, every single thing that I played was pentatonic. There might have been one bend that technically not pentatonic, but basically everything in it was a pentatonic scale, played in a lot of different ways. And I wanted to try to make them, usable ideas. Anyone can make something sound super far out there and unusual, but if it doesn't sound musical, then I don't know what's the point of learning it. So the first one here is essentially a bunch of chords, really is what's happening. So we're starting here. You can still get it to work over an E, but essentially I'm starting with a D sus2 chord is really what's happening. I've got 10 on the low E string, 12 on the A, and 14 on the D. Now that 14 is, I guess, technically like a 9. Is the way you can look at it. I view it as a 2, so essentially in my mind it's the formula for a suspended second or a sus2 chord. Now what's nice is out of E minor, which is how I'm viewing everything, these notes are all in there. That you can see I'm kind of bridging from box 5 down here to box 1. Okay. Now what's happening next is I shift up into essentially an A sus2. And I'm just going to go 12 on the A string, 14 on the D with my middle finger, and then 16 on the G with my pinky. And that's just how that kind of flows. Now what's happening next is essentially we're doing an E power chord is really all that this is. So we're going to be playing 14 on the D. Notice I've shifted fingers. I use these 3 fingers now. 14 on the D to 16 on the G to 17 on the B. Now the reason why I'm calling that a power chord is because even though there's still 3 notes here, this is an octave. So you have your root and your fifth. There's no third here. It's kind of telling us if it's major or minor. And then basically I do the same thing. Up kind of not an octave quite, but I'm going to go to 16 on the G with my pointer finger, 17 on the B with my middle, and then 19. Which now these 2 are octaves. I have an octave of the 5th, and I'm just playing the root with my middle finger. So real easy, very like Steve Vai-ish kind of. I'll remember to turn my delay off for the next one, but overall, maybe. Tune this thing too, but that's the first one. Like I said, it's simple, but all of this is about unlocking these kind of like new concepts and ideas that you're going to see on the fingerboard. Now I'm thinking diagonally, not just going like we normally would through the pentatonic scale. Alright, delay is turned off now, and this other one we have is kind of in my mind a similar idea because I'm traveling diagonally, but this one could work great over G or E. The slow it looks like this. Oh. Can't play it slow, can only play it fast apparently. But like I said, basically I'm transitioning diagonally through the pentatonic scale. Now I'm starting on a root note here, so I'm starting on E, 12th fret on the low E string. And the next pattern here is I'm going to go a 10, 12, 14. Now, what I like about this that's different is I'm using a 3-note per string kind of idea inside of a pentatonic. A lot of times, when we learn the pentatonic scale and we apply it, we do a lot of 2-note per string stuff. Well, this is utilizing 3-note per string. I think I start alternate picking and then I move into economy picking. I'm picking however you want. But I'm going to go 12 on the low E string and then, like I said, 10, 12, 14 on the A. Now what happens here is I have to shift my hand up and I bar, which I'm not very good at. So I use the barring technique sparingly, even though I should work on it more. I'm going to go 12 on the D and 12 on the G, then 14 on the G to 16. So we have... Okay, now I'm going to go to 15 on the B, and then 12, 15, 17 on the high string. Now, if you notice, there is a pattern happening here. I'm playing one note, and then on the next string I play 3, 1 note 3. This is something that I started doing a long time ago. I call it, my 1-3-1 pattern. I do it constantly, basically all over the place. But in this instance, like I said, we're going. Now, when I descend, I do it a little bit different. I stay in essentially one position, which is bridging box 1 and box 2 together. So I go. Now once I'm up here, I go back to 15 and I do a pull off to 12, and there's a reason why I'm doing that. Okay, so we have. Okay, because when I get up here, when I go to the 15, that's an up pick, and I do a pull off. And I follow it with another up, 15, another up to 16. So it's almost like a sweep. I go. I need that pull off in there to keep my picking from transitioning to that down. So I use the pull off to keep my picking all up. Now we're just walking through this. I might do a pull off. I'm not sure. It's tabbed out. But now I'm just kind of doing that 3-1-3 pattern because I basically flipped it. I go to 14 on the D, 17 on the A, 14, 12, 15 on the low string, and 12. Now I'll be totally honest with you. I'm playing 17 here for the sake of the video, keeping it pentatonic. I would basically never do that because that note is, I just miss it every single time, and I end up hitting 16. So I just kind of accepted that 16 in there instead of the 17. I don't think it sounds that bad. But to keep it true pentatonic, hit that 17 instead. And there's that one. Like I said, that one is just kind of a good way to navigate because I'm not descending the same way I ascend. So there's a lot of little things in there to take away that you might enjoy. All right, now next is a really simple one that I use constantly, and it's just a great way to get through any scale, really, and that is a 1 note per string idea. Now, this is really good because it gives you very big intervals between your notes, so you don't always have to be doing kind of the Eric Johnson thing. You can use a lot of different stuff. Now, what I like to do is I go like this. Oh. Now, I like it because, it's like I said, I'm still getting to the same point where I want to be. That sounds like a scale. It sounds like something. I don't know if I would like, oh, there was my pick. I don't know if I would instantly think pentatonic, though, when I heard that. So, basically, what's happening here is I'm doing a 1 note per string idea. And I'm going to go, I guess this is like is it a minor 7? Yeah, it's like a... It's like a minor 7, B minor 7. I'm going to go 14 on the D, 14 on the A, 12 on the D, and then 14 on the G. Now I just keep this pattern. I'm not thinking chordally here, I'm thinking pattern based. So I'm going to go to the next one, which is just moving everything down a string, and I'm going to go 14 on the D, 12 on the G, and then 15 on the B. Okay? Now I move it down one more time, 14 on the G this time, 12, 15, I bend it up a little bit, I'm kind of cheating, and I go to 12. So I go, that's more of a phrasing thing. You could end it without the bend, and it would totally work too. The bend just gives it that little bit of like that bluesy pizzazz that I like. But like I said, I do this kind of idea all over the place, even utilizing in like a major scale. It's all, that's what I'm thinking when I'm doing that stuff. Okay, now this one seems like a much more standard box pentatonic shape, but I'm actually outlining a chord when I do this one. And again, I'm adding that little bend on there, cheating a little bit, kind of venturing out of the pentatonic. It's almost outlining, if I changed it a little bit, we could almost do like a dominant 7. But I'm doing a minor 7 here is actually what I'm outlining. I'm going... Oh, however I ended it. That's how I did it. So essentially, like I said, I'm just thinking in terms of an E minor 7 here is all I'm doing. And I'm adding a little bit of phrasing to it to make it sound a little bit less just like I'm going through a scale. But what's happening is I'm bending 8 on the B string. Now that's the only part where I venture out of pentatonic. You could bend it up a full step if you wanted. And keep it pentatonic. I end up doing a half step, which is going from that minor third up to that major third. So I go to 7 on the high string, and I'm going to do a 10 pull off the 7. And essentially I go 10 pull off 7, and I go to 8, 9 pull off 7 on the G. Then I'm going to go to 9 on the D, 10 pull off 7. Okay. Then I go to 10 on the low E string, which is an octave, of course, of that. So now I reascend everything, which is just going to go 7, hammer on to 10 this time, 9 on the D, 7 to 9 on the G, 8 on the B, 7 on the high E string, and then back to 9 on the G. Alright, now the final one here was a very new one for me. I came up when I was working on these other licks, kind of based off of stuff I was already doing. But this one was totally new to me, and I was like, okay, I'm going to throw this in here, even if I don't play it the best, you know, because I still need to work on it. I still thought the idea was really interesting, and I was trying to kind of, you know, throw something new in here that I'm not comfortable with. So basically it was like this, slow. You can see I'm kind of pulling the strings because I'm not as confident with this one. But essentially this first part here, I'm just outlining an E minor arpeggio is all I'm doing. So it's all out of E. I'm going to go 15 to 19 on the high string, 17 on the B, and then 16 on the G. Now notice what fingers I'm using. I have to use all 4 fingers for this. And I do treat it kind of like a sweep. I go down, up, up, up. So now I keep the same idea of ascend and then descend 2 notes in more like a sweeping way throughout the entire lick. So I have that first part. I shift down. Utilizing another roll here. My fingers are hating me. I go 12 to 15 on the B, down, up, and then 14 on the G, and 14 on the D. Which this is actually, I shouldn't say this isn't that new to me. I do this a lot through the pentatonic. But I do it more if I'm kind of like going through like a major scale. Okay, so we have that, and we have... Now here it changes ever so slightly. And I'm going to go 9 on the G to 14, 12 on the D, 14 on the A, and I just slide up to 14 to resolve. You could end on any E you wanted. So the last one was tricky. It's kind of a big stretch. So like you could tie them all together. They literally would all flow together. I bet you could even go like this. Yeah, you could easily work those together. I'm playing it sloppy because I've never done that before, but you can do it. And so on with that one. But there's that one too, so hopefully you dig that stuff. There you guys have it, 5 different ideas. Hopefully, like I said, you get something out of, like I said, that last one was new for me too. I like whenever I try to come up with something new for myself for these videos. And I hope you get something out of it. I hope you can enjoy them. Get your guitars out, get your tabs, and yo, we're going to get on out here. You know what? I'll lay down some rhythm for you. I haven't played some rhythm in a while. So here is a riff out of E that you can practice these licks if you want to. So later, homies. Woo!